guys, welcome to my second video of my booktube career. Happy September to you all, and yeah, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be doing a ranking of all of my 5-star books. Most of these I have not read recently, they're kind of just jumbled around there. But I literally just took my Goodreads 5-star reads and was like, you know, it'd be fun to kind of categorize them. So that's what I will be doing. I'm also doing this because the last book I read was awful. You can go to my Bookstagram to see why. I have a full rant about it because, oh God, it just did me in. So I need some positivity. I need to reflect on the positive, beautiful works of literature that I've read, and that's what I will be doing. So my 5 tiers are Changed My Life is the top one. How could I ever read anything better than this? So incredibly unique, I couldn't help but rate 5 stars. This author can write, and books that have been a life raft. So let's begin. So my first book that I mentioned in my last video is The Paris Wife. I'm going to put this one easily in the books that have been a life raft here because I've read this book so many, like literally year over year, and it's always meant something different to me. And it kind of inspired me to write historical fiction. So in a lot of ways, this book has just been really important to me. Murakami, Norwegian Wood, that's another obvious one. Like, you see, the thing is, I think the next one's Murakami too. And, actually, well, I don't know. Well, Norwegian Wood, we'll just start with that. Basically, pretty much any of his books I think I would put into this category. Like the writing style, just, he could write about someone like walking around the street for, I don't know, like he could write anything and I would love it and enjoy it and be like, yeah, I'm transfixed. So that one's definitely going in this category. I think that Killing Commendatore might be my favorite one of his books because of the story. Like, it's just batshit, and it's that in tandem with his writing style. I was hooked. I was sold. So I also want to make the point that I don't think I would ever reread Killing Commendatore. It's kind of the book that, like, I don't know how to put it, but it's just like such a grand sweeping masterpiece. And it took me so long to read, and it was genius, but I don't think I would read it again, if that makes sense. Like, it just took so much, and I think I got it. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sputnik Sweetheart, another one that's this author can write. Like I said, pretty much all of his stuff is going to be in that for me. But next I have Never Let Me Go. This one's tough. I think I'm gonna put that in the incredibly unique tier because just the plot is, I don't know how you can conceive of something like that. It was just insane. If you know, you know. So yeah. Oh man, East of Eden. This one's crazy. I think I'm gonna have to put that in How Could I Ever Read Anything Better Than This? It's another kind of it's just like an epic. That's the best way I can describe it. It has biblical allegory, but done in a very, like, I wouldn't call it subtle, but it's not in like the knock you over the head kind of way. So well executed, so gorgeously done. 10 out of 10. You have to read it. It's an investment, like a lot of these books, but you have to read it. It's so good. Persuasion by Jane Austen. I read this in my undergrad, and I think I'm gonna put this in the this author can write category. I mean, no shit, like, wow, groundbreaking, Jane Austen can write. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those kind of books that you're like, yeah, you know how to put together a story, and it's so delicately, like, God, it's just one of those books that you get to the end, you're like, I see what you're doing. So good, so good. Normal People. This might be, this one's a tough one. I think think it's going to change my life because, to be honest with you, and this is going to make me sound really stupid, but I read Normal People for the first time when I got it out of one of those little pop-up libraries when I was still living in Chicago, and I was hella depressed and I needed a change in my life, and that's about the time that I considered going to grad school in Ireland. And that's obviously not why, because I, read this one book, but I did like watch the series, read the book around the same time, and that like melancholy and like the vibe of feeling lost and feeling in that stage in your life, it really changed me. So I don't know if maybe that would be Life Raft or Changed My Life, but I'll just leave it and Changed My Life. Joan Didion, The Year of Magical Thinking. Like, I think I'd put that into Life Raft, definitely. It's not even like the prose of this book is like, obviously she's a very talented writer, but I don't think it's the prose that sets this book apart. I think it's the concept, and it's one that really carried me through that time in my life that I read it. The Great Gatsby, like, just the sense of longing, and it was the first time that I think I saw a book that the choice of narrator was quintessential to the book. Like Nick Carraway, if he had narrated it, like, I think that was such a great stylistic choice by F. Scott Fitzgerald, or maybe Zelda, but we won't get into that. Anyway, oh wow, this next one, I kind of forgot about it until I was putting together this list, but not for the reason that it's not incredible. It absolutely was. I think I just read it in undergrad when I had a lot on my plate to read, so I'd love to reread this. It's called The Balloonist by Eula Biss, and essentially it's kind of a hybrid memoir where the narrator like weaves a really like fraught time in her life in with like aviation and different kind of like, I don't know, it's all about hot air balloons and airplanes and aviation, which I think is just such a, I don't know, such a ripe topic for writing poetry, and just, it's very lyrical, like, thinking of exploration, taking you away from the place that you're in kind of thing. So I think that it was a perfect metaphor for like the kind of struggle she was going through in her life, and it reads as poetry and prose kind of, but yeah, this book is amazing. Can't recommend it enough. Crime and Punishment, obviously, how could I ever read anything better than this? I remember that was the first book I read that showed me this, and The Count of Monte Cristo were the first two books that showed me like the scale of, like, I don't know, like scale of classic literature and how sweeping and cinematic it could be. Same thing with Pachinko, to be honest, like this kind of big, like, huge plot, sweeping like different time periods, generations, characters, huge cast of characters. That's that same kind of vibe. Like, wow, I'm floored. Ooh, A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing. I was gonna put it in Incredibly Unique. I think I still will. I was debating between that and Life Raft, but this was kind of the inspo for my PhD that I'm about to start. Because it's the first book that I read that was like, it actually mirrored what trauma looks like, what the traumatized mind is. Just absolutely stunning. So yeah, Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. That's just going in. This author can write pretty much everything. Literally every single book of hers that I've read is a 5-star, not, like, it truly is. She's just incredible. I love her writing style. I think that she's definitely like top 2 favorite authors. So yeah, and I have my boyfriend to thank for that because he put me onto her writing. So yeah. I think The Gypsy Moth Summer. This one is so slept on. I love a good like small sleepy town United States like coastal summertime vibe, but this one, it surpassed that. It approached really heavy topics like racism and classism like so well and so adeptly without being cheesy or like, I don't know, it was just incredible. So this one's a toughie. I don't know where I'd put it though. I think maybe, I don't know, because it's like I can't put it on the same level as those. So I'll put it here because she can write and she's amazing. Okay, same thing with Mary Gateskill. This book was just wow and handled abuse very well, and she is just a gorgeous writer. I read her short story collections. She's amazing. Human Acts by Hong Kong. I want to say changed my life because, again, like, it kind of broke apart everything I thought about trauma writing, but I think it's gonna go there. Getting Lost by Annie Ernaux. I'm gonna put changed my life because this is the first book that showed me, like, you can just be, you can just express, just kidding. That has to be in the life raft category. Like, I needed that book at the time that I read it. Yeah, so it's going there, sorry. Notes from a Coma. Such a unique premise, absolutely going there. It's definitely the plot that set it apart, so it's going in unique. Same thing with the next one, The Night Circus. I did have a couple of, like, issues with the writing in this book, but, like, they were way surpassed by the uniqueness of the plot and how interesting it was. Sheila Heti, Pure Color, changed my life. You can't really see the title in that, but the book is Pure Color by Sheila Heti. It is just mind-blowing, but also life-affirming and positive and made me happy to be alive. So read it ASAP, you must. My Husband by Maud Ventura. You guys, this is my book where if someone says, can you recommend me a book, and I don't know anything, if I barely know them or whatever, I'm like, this is the book. It is so good. It is so bonkers. Like, bonkers. Biggest plot twist of all time, I think. Literally of all time. Like, you're not ready. Like, read this fucking book. It's so good. So good. The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. That has to go in, I think this author can write. Yeah. Same with So Late in the Day. The Lover. That might have to go in Changed My Life. I saw the film, which that was an experience that I don't want to get into. Somehow I found the film and I watched it before I even knew the premise and whatever, that was the whole thing. But the book, oh my god, it wasn't even like her relationship with her lover, it was her relationship with her mother that I was like, oh. And it made me think about my own life, so that's going there. This book is probably one of the most slept on books I've ever read. Oh my god, my mind was just blown when I read this. It's basically about this old IRA guy who he's getting really old and all he has is his daughters and his family, and he kind of realizes that like he's gonna die, and he's basically taken all these women in his life for granted, and it's about him kind of gaining his humanity as he like loses his life, and it's just gorgeous and stunning. So honestly, this is going into how could I ever read anything better than this? Like the humanity in this book is just true. This author can write. More Claire Keegan, y'all. Spring by Nosegard. I wrote a review about this in my recent Books to Post. I might put this in Life Raft because of the lines in this book, and it just made me really grateful to be alive and to cherish the people that I'm with. This is kind of a life raft in this season of my life, I would say. Foster, Claire Keegan, this author can write. Hello. Oh, Song of Achilles. That's going in. How could I ever read anything better than this? So beautiful. Also, it's just now occurring to me that the secret history is not on here. It should be. I must have left it out. But that is definitely on this tier. How could I ever read anything better than this? Like, absolutely. Okay, 2 more. Breakdown by Kathy Sweeney. I think this is going in, this author can write, because she can. And finally, we have The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which, like, every character was so fleshed out, well developed, beautifully done. Human emotions at their basest and most, just, like, no lies were told. The book was just amazing. And I think now, looking over this, I think it's quite clear that what I value in books is probably style over plot and writing over plot, which I knew. But then, you know, every once in a while you get that perfect mix, which is where a lot of these 5 stars have come from. I feel like I left off a few things. Like, this seems like Secret History, for one, I obviously left off, which was silly. But yeah, so basically that is my list. As I was filming that outro, it occurred to me that I have, in fact, left off quite a few books, and I just didn't upload them to my Goodreads, I suppose. I also wanted to make the note that this does not include any poetry, otherwise it would be like Mary Oliver, top to bottom. But I'm hoping to do a similar one of these with the books that I've rated 1 star, which, oh, that's gonna be fun. I always feel bad because I know that obviously these authors have worked really hard on these books and everything, but you know, when they're problematic in certain ways, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Like, this needs to be dragged for filth. So I don't know. But yeah, I'll probably upload one of those soon. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, comment if we have anything in common. Bye!